Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. So good evening. It's my pleasure to welcome you to the annual Washington and Lee University Athletics Awards Ceremony. Every year we set an evening aside to applaud this year's accomplishments in W&L athletics, and we're excited to have you gathered with us to celebrate. Before we get started, there's two things I think that we should do that are important things to do. First, I want to express our gratitude to the Lee Chapel staff for allowing us to use video technology in this evening's presentation. So thank you very much to the Lee Chapel staff for all your help and hard work. Second, on a more serious note, I'd like to observe a moment of silence to honor the two women from the women's basketball program at the University of Richmond who recently lost their lives in a tragic balloon accident, and for all their friends and colleagues in the athletics department who are dealing with this very difficult reality. Many of us here know and understand all too well the pain that they're experiencing. So if you would pause with me for a moment, I'd appreciate it. Thank you. It's been an excellent year in athletics in so many ways. So there's lots to cover tonight, and I thought I'd start with a few statistics, I always screw that word up, to begin to highlight what it is that you have accomplished, and you being the staff, the coaches, the athletes, and everyone involved in making athletics happen at Washington and Lee. So we had 472 student athletes participate for the generals this year, 286 men and 186 women. 30 of you are multi-sport athletes, 17 women and 13 men. 263 of the 472, about 55%, achieved a 3.5 grade point average or better, and were named W&L Scholar Athletes, which includes a new record of 210 being named in the winter term alone. The previous record of 190 student athletes, W&L Scholar Athletes, was achieved this past fall. 20 of you are student athletes who have a 4.0. That's unbelievable. Congratulations. We have 29 athletes who completed the leadership program in the inaugural year of the Generals Leadership Academy. We had 6 conference championship teams, 6 conference players of the year, 8 conference rookies of the year, 8 conference scholar athletes of the year, 3 conference coaches of the year. 4 teams compete in the NCAA championships, with 1 still competing. 8 individuals compete in the NCAA championships. Some are still competing, and some we will learn more about on May 18th. 5 athletes named All-Americans so far. 1 NCAA postgraduate scholarship winner so far. And last but not least, we won all 3 of the ODAC Commissioners' Cups. The ODAC Commissioners' Cup Cups are awarded by the conference to the school with the highest winning percentage in each category: men's sports, women's sports, and overall athletics. W&L swept all 3 awards for the 2nd straight year and for the 9th time overall. And of the 20 ODAC Overall Commissioners' Cups for excellence awarded, 18 have been won by W&L, including this year. And I've done the ever-fateful thing of losing my place. So one of the things I wanted to say, these are wonderful accolades. They're honors, recognitions that are very well deserved, and we're very proud of each and every one of you. Yet here's what's most impressive, and in my mind most important about this list. All of these accomplishments are the result of a dogged pursuit of excellence by everyone associated with W&L athletics. As you well know, we value our traditions at W&L. And one of our longest held traditions is the way Washington and Lee provides its students with the opportunity to pursue athletics excellence without sacrificing their educational experience. At a lot of other institutions across the country, they are trying to rediscover this balance and this perspective, and it's one that we've known for years. For example, I recently saw a TEDx talk given by David Shaw, the head football coach at Stanford. In it, he described how Stanford is trying to lead the way and show the world that you don't have to sacrifice academics to excel in athletics, but you can actually excel in both. At the time of his TED Talk, Stanford had recently been recognized nationally for being the only school to have 100% of their football players graduate and also play in a BCS bowl game. And that's a fantastic accomplishment. He also stated that he wants Stanford football to be a leader and a model for other schools in the country to show them that they too can win and also graduate all of their athletes. What Coach Shaw at Stanford describes is nothing new or innovated at W&L, or is it something that we need to rediscover? It is what we have always known and expected. And most of the people in this room know that striving for excellence is not easy, and it is not as simple as it may appear to make this process happen year in and year out. It doesn't happen by accident. Yet it's in the proper perspective, and it's one that will stand the test of time. There's something far more valuable and rewarding in knowing that your achievements were won and forged through a belief in the pursuit of excellence and the process it requires. So I thank you. We're very, very proud of the fact that you believe in striving for excellence and the process required to strive for excellence, and therefore to succeed on and off the playing fields, courts, swimming pools, tracks, the horses you ride, wherever it is that you compete. And I want to thank you especially for upholding the long-held tradition of athletics excellence at Washington and Lee. It's now my pleasure to invite to the podium Brian Lobsher, our Sports Information Director, to begin our presentations. We will follow the order of the program to its conclusion. Brian?
It's my privilege to present the individual sports awards for the varsity sports teams here at W&L. Each coach has designated 2 awards that will be presented this evening, but I'd like to remind everyone that numerous other athletes have also received team awards at individual banquets over the course of the year. I will announce each head coach to please come forward to present the awards, and if your name is called, please come to the front of the stage to receive your award. Baseball and head coach Jeff Stickley. The Joe Lyles Award for Unselfish Dedication and Contribution goes to Nate Plain. The Captain Dick Smith Award for Overall Contribution goes to Keegan Dolan. Men's basketball and head coach Adam Hutchinson. The Lee Williams Memorial Award for Overall Contribution goes to Drew Kimberly. And the Alumni Basketball Award for Career Contribution goes to Kevin Gill. Women's basketball and head coach Christine Clancy. The Barry F. Machado Award for Dedication and Commitment goes to Shelby Hendricks. Shelby is studying abroad and unable to be with us this evening. The Most Valuable Player Award goes to Wesley Vick. Men's cross country and head coach Brandon Spalding. The Richard Miller Award for Spirit and Sportsmanship goes to Kane Thomas. The Forrest Fletcher Award for the Most Valuable Athlete goes to Max Strahler. Women's cross country and interim head coach Kristen Cupido. The Most Improved Runner Award goes to Katie Dreest. And the Most Valuable Runner Award goes to Annalise Madison. Field hockey and head coach Wendy Orison. The Most Valuable Offensive Player Award goes to Candace Stefanik. Candace is studying abroad and unable to be with us tonight. The Most Valuable Defensive Player Award goes to Riley Hampsh. Football and head coach Scott Abel. The Dan Ray Justice Memorial Award for the Offensive MVP goes to Connor Hollenbeck. And the C.J. Harrington Memorial Award for the Defensive MVP goes to Mark Burley. Men's golf and head coach Pete Jessick. The Cy Twombly Award for the Most Improved Golfer goes to Taylor Stagg. The Felix Smart Memorial Award for the Outstanding Golfer goes to Conley Hurst. Women's golf, also coached by Pete Jessick. The Most Outstanding Performer Award goes to Rachel Wright. Men's lacrosse and head coach Gene McCabe. The C.W. Pacey Memorial Lacrosse Award for the Outstanding First-Year Player goes to Jonathan Henry. And the Wheelwright Memorial Lacrosse Award for the Most Valuable Player goes to Cam Lewis. Women's lacrosse and head coach Brooke O'Brien. The Outstanding Offensive Player Award goes to Greta Witter. The Outstanding Defensive Player Award goes to Leanne Stone. Riding and head coach Gordon Reistrup. The Sportsmanship and Horsemanship Award, we have 2 winners. Maya Robbins. And the second recipient, Laura Lemon. The Most Valuable Rider Award goes to Claire Stevenson. Men's soccer and head coach Rolf Peranian. The L. Brandon Herbert Award for Unselfish Dedication and Contribution goes to Parker Wolfinger. Parker's unable to be with us tonight. The Jim Trundle Award for the Outstanding Player goes to Ben Bales. Women's soccer and head coach Neil Cunningham. The Players' Player of the Year Award goes to Alexis Blight. And the Most Valuable Player Award goes to Haley Ward. Men's swimming and head coach Cammie Gardner. The Twombly Eastman Swimming Award for Outstanding Effort and Teamwork goes to Eric Schumann. The Memorial Swimming Award for the Outstanding Swimmer goes to David Ireland. Women's swimming, also coached by Cammie Gardner. The Coaches and Captains Award for Commitment and Performance goes to Lauren Kasoff. The Outstanding Women's Swimming Award goes to Meredith Hardy. Men's tennis and head coach David Detweiler. The Washburn Award for the outstanding first year goes to Jordan Krasner. The Memorial Tennis Award for the outstanding player goes to Michael Holt. Women's tennis and head coach Aaron Ness. The Team Dedication Award goes to Kelsey Vela. The William Washburn Award for the most valuable player goes to Sonia Meehan. Men's track and field and head coach Brandon Ewell. The Coaches and Captains Award for dedication and loyalty goes to Kane Thomas. The Forrest Fletcher Award for the most valuable athlete goes to Xander Tallman. Women's track and field and head coach Dana Freeman. The Coaches and Captains Award for career-long dedication and leadership goes to Lee Danhauser. The Natalie Steer Award for the most valuable athlete goes to Dana Lee. Volleyball and head coach Brian Snyder. The Coaches Award for dedication to the program goes to Alex Kinzer. The Most Valuable Player Award goes to Megan Molesky. Wrestling and head coach Nathan Shearer. The D.C. Montgomery Memorial Award for the outstanding first-year wrestler goes to Bennett Lewis. And the A.E. Mathis War Memorial Award for excellence in leadership goes to Ron Tassoni. I'll now turn the program over to Jeremy Franklin, who will present our year in review.
Welcome to the part of the program where I tell terrible jokes. Actually, I'm fresh out of material, and I don't think I could get any more laughs than Jordan Krasner, so I won't bother with that. We've got a fantastic set of highlights coming up for you, but before we check out our year in review video, I wanted to share a quick story about something I saw while covering a Washington and Lee sporting event this season. It was not a record-setting performance. It was not a conference title, though there were plenty of those, as you're about to see, but it's something that I don't expect to ever witness again. We have a pair of first-year twins on the women's basketball roster, Darby and Sydney Lundquist. They're from Chattanooga, Tennessee. They scored their first collegiate points at the same time. How does that happen, you ask? It was late in the second half of the Generals' third game of the season down at Randolph. Neither twin had played much through the first two contests of the year, but the game was decided, and both sisters were on the court. Inside the final minute, Darby hit a short jumper, and while the ball was in the air, Sydney was fouled. The Generals were in the double bonus, so Sydney went to the line and hit one of two free throws. No time had elapsed on the clock, which of course stops on the made basket inside the final minute of the game. Both players scored the first points of their careers with exactly 50 seconds to go. I have seen many phenomenal performances while covering Washington and Lee in Division III athletics. I have never seen anything quite like that. So, moving on to the year in review, my contribution to the video that you're about to see is simply the voice. The real work in putting this together was done by Brian Lobsher, Chip Whipple, and Maggie Roy in the Sports Information Office, along with all the folks who have filmed athletic events throughout the year, who compiled and cut all the terrific footage. But before we get there, one more order of business. Let's take a moment to honor Washington and Lee's 6 Old Dominion Athletic Conference championship teams from 2013-2014. Would all players and coaches from the following teams stand and be recognized? Volleyball. Women's swimming. Riding. Women's lacrosse. Men's tennis. And women's tennis. Congratulations. Now, the year in review. For the Washington and Lee year in review final, the Generals advanced to the Division III tournament, dropping a hard-fought 3-set match to Berry in the opening round in Atlanta. M.A. Bowles finished her career as the conference's all-time leader in kills, earning her second ODAC Player of the Year award and going on to receive All-Region, Academic All-District, and Honorable Mention All-America honors. She was joined on the All-ODAC first team and the Virginia Sports Information Director's All-State team by classmate Megan Molesky, who became just the second player in program history to record 3,000 career assists. In head coach Rolf Peranian's 38th and final season at the helm, men's soccer finished 10-3-5, advancing to the ODAC semifinals before being knocked out by top seed Randolph. 13 was a magic number for the Generals this year. Zach Colby bagged 13 goals, while the defense conceded just 13 total goals in 18 matches. Colby was named first team All-ODAC, All-State, and All-Region. Patrick Berry also appeared on the All-Conference first team, while he and goalkeeper Albert Civitrice were second team All-State selections, and Al Organ was named the ODAC Scholar Athlete of the Year. Coach Peranian, meanwhile, finishes his terrific career with 313 wins. Women's soccer put together a spectacular season, going 17-3-1 overall and 11-1-0 in the ODAC, ultimately falling to top seed Lynchburg in the conference final. The Generals' balanced offense featured 7 different players who scored at least 4 goals, while the defense kept 13 clean sheets and limited the opposition to 9 goals in 21 matches. Ashley Hogan was named Rookie of the Year by the ODAC and Co-Rookie of the Year by the Virginia Sports Information Directors, and she was joined on the All-Conference first team by Holly Beasley, Haley Ward, and Addie Healy. Beasley was a first-team All-Region pick, with Hogan earning a spot on the second team, while those two were featured on the All-State first team along with Healy. The field hockey team finished 5-15 overall and 3-5 in the ODAC, losing at Randolph-Macon in the conference quarterfinals. Nolani Schulmeyer led a talented group of first-years by winning the ODAC Rookie of the Year award, while senior defender Riley Hamsch was selected first-team All-ODAC, second-team All-State, and second-team All-Region.
Big news came in the offseason as Washington and Lee was selected to host the NCAA Division III Championship in 2014 and 2015. In men's cross country, a young Washington and Lee squad put together an impressive season, placing third at the ODAC Championship, the team's best finish in 4 years. At the conference meet, 3 of the Generals' top 5 finishers were first years. Max Strahler came in 5th, earning first team All-Conference and ODAC Rookie of the Year honors. He and sophomore Levi Waring garnered all region awards as they helped the team place 12th at the South-Southeast Regional Meet in Newport News. The women's cross-country team finished 4th at the ODAC Championship, with Annalise Madison and Casey McIntosh placing 5th and 6th overall to earn spots on the All-ODAC first team. Madison also received the conference's Scholar Athlete of the Year award, and the senior went on to place 5th at the South-Southeast meet, picking up all region honors and qualifying for the National Division III race in Hanover, Indiana. Football battled through an injury-plagued campaign to finish 5-5 overall and 3-4 in the ODAC. Offensive lineman Connor Hollenbeck capped off a decorated career by earning first-team All-America honors from the American Football Coaches Association, as well as first-team All-Region and honorable mention All-America citations from D3Football.com. He helmed the winningest WNL senior class in 50 years, as the class of 2014 went 29-13 overall and claimed a pair of ODAC titles. Hollenbeck and fellow lineman Bobby Jones were first-team All-Conference and All-State picks this season, while running back Marshall Hollerith was named Rookie of the Year by both the ODAC and the Virginia Sports Information Directors. Hollenbeck and defensive back Mitchell Thompson were also selected to play in the D3 Senior Classic All-Star Game in Salem. Moving on to the winter, where youth was a major theme. Women's swimming won its 7th consecutive ODAC title and the 24th in program history, once again dominating the conference meet in Greensboro. Stephanie Foster was named the ODAC Scholar Athlete of the Year, and she was joined on the all-conference first team by fellow Generals Meredith Hardy, Lauren Kasoff, Sydney Gay, Caroline Hamp, Emma Swab, Elizabeth Holmes, Jillian Lee, and Emily Rollo. Washington and Lee's season also featured a 9-2 record in dual meets and first-place finishes at the ODAC Relays and the Franklin and Marshall Invitational. Of the 19 records on the books for the WNL program, 10 new marks were set in 2014, and all of this happened for a team that had 15 underclassmen on a roster of 23. The men's swimming team placed 10th at the Bluegrass Mountain Conference Championship in Charlotte. The Generals' 21-man squad featured 11 first-years and 5 sophomores, but Washington and Lee was still able to post an 8-2 record in dual meets, including victories over the 2 ODAC schools on the schedule, Randolph-Macon and Hampton-Sydney. Featuring 7 first-years and 4 sophomores on a 12-man roster, wrestling finished 6th at the Centennial Conference Championship at Ursinus, with 174-pounder Ron Tassoni earning the school's first individual conference title in 13 years and claiming first-team All-Conference laurels in the process. Tassoni and Bennett Lewis, who advanced to the final in the 197-pound bracket at the Centennial meet, would both earn Scholar All-America honors. As a team, the Generals went 2-11 in dual meets and placed 14th at the NCAA East Regional. Without a senior on the roster, women's basketball wrapped up the year at 6-19 overall and 4-12 in the ODAC, falling at Roanoke in the first round of the conference tournament. As might be expected for such a young team, the Generals struggled on the road, but their one win away from home was an overtime victory over a Lynchburg team that finished 3rd in the conference. The men's basketball team went 8-20, including a 3-13 mark in ODAC play. The Generals struggled during the regular season, slipping to 11th in the conference standings, but WNL then went on a remarkable run in the ODAC tournament, upsetting 6th-seeded Randolph on the road and bouncing number 3 seed Guilford in Salem before falling to eventual champion Virginia Wesleyan in the semifinals. Center Drew Kimberly, who battled through injuries throughout his career, put together a breakout senior season and earned the ODAC Scholar Athlete of the Year award. Records would fall throughout the track and field season. The women's team placed 3rd at the ODAC Indoor Championship, winning 2 major pieces of hardware. Annalise Madison was named the conference's Scholar Athlete of the Year, while Dana Lee received Rookie of the Year honors. Madison won the mile and finished 3rd in the 800 meters, and Lizzie Stanton set a new school mark while placing 1st in the pole vault. Lee scored in 4 events, including runner-up showings in the 200 meters and the long jump. Jillian Catterhagen claimed 2nd in the pole vault and 3rd in the 60-meter hurdles, while Lee Danhauser placed 2nd in the high jump, and the 4x400 relay team came in 3rd. Lee would go on to finish 9th overall in the long jump at the NCAA Division III Championship in Lincoln, Nebraska. Men's track and field also came in 3rd at the Indoor Conference Championship, where Max Strahler earned the ODAC Rookie of the Year award after winning the 5,000 meters. The Generals also claimed 5 second-place finishes, including runner-up performances by the 4x400 and distance medley relay teams. Xander Tallman, who was part of the 4x400 relay, placed 2nd in the 400 meters and 3rd in the 200 meters, while Aaron Jong came in 2nd in the 60-meter dash. David Fishman finished second in the pole vault, while Ian McDonald was third in the mile run. Tallman and Zhang would both represent W&L at the National Division III meet, where Tallman became the General's first All-American since 1969, registering a third-place finish in the 400 meters. More track and field later on. Riding won the program's second-ever ODAC title, placing first at the conference championship in Weir's Cave. Claire Stevenson led the way with the first-place individual finish to earn ODAC Rider of the Year honors. Kaylee Wells came in third overall, claiming the Conference Rookie of the Year award and joining Stevenson on the All-ODAC first team, while Gordon Reistrup was selected as the ODAC Coach of the Year. At the IHSA Zone Finals in Roanoke, Stevenson placed third in the open equitation over fences, while Laura Lemon took third in the intermediate equitation on the flat. Now on to the spring. Men's golf came in second at the ODAC Championship in Conover, North Carolina, marking the Generals' best finish since they won the title back in 2009. W&L was tied with Guilford heading into the third and final day of competition, but the Quakers pulled away to claim their conference record 14th crown. Conley Hurst tied for first overall, losing the individual championship on a playoff hole. Led by Hurst, 3 of the Generals' top 4 scorers this season were first-years. In its second full varsity season, women's golf placed third at the ODAC Championship, an event that is also just 2 years old. Rachel Wright, who led the Generals in stroke average this year, finished in third place in the individual standings, earning all conference honors for the second straight season. Men's tennis wrapped up the year at 18-5, running the table in the ODAC to claim its 33rd conference championship. The Generals were selected to host the opening rounds of the NCAA tournament, defeating Catholic 5-0 in the first round before falling 5-1 to 12th-ranked Kenyon in the round of 32 on Saturday. Taylor Shamshiri was selected as the ODAC Player of the Year, with Michael Holt receiving the conference's Scholar Athlete Award. Those two were joined on the All-ODAC first team by Christopher Hu, Jordan Krasner, Brian Kruskos, Sam Borowski, and John Kirby. Washington and Lee experienced all of this success with an underclassmen-heavy roster. All of the all-conference honorees will return to the fold in 2015. But this season isn't done. Shamshiri and Holt were selected to the 16-team doubles field for the NCAA Championship, and they'll travel to Claremont, California for the Division III tournament next week. The women's tennis team went 18-3, also putting together an undefeated conference run and earning the school's 24th ODAC title. The Generals received a first-round bye in the NCAA tournament, upending Sewanee 5-0 in the second round before falling to host Emory 5-0 in the regional final. Sonia Meehan, who started her season by finishing as the runner-up in singles at the ITA Small College Championships in October, received her third ODAC Player of the Year award, while Erin Ness won Conference Coach of the Year honors. Joining Meehan on the All-ODAC first team were Chelsea Mixon, Megan Buell, Mary Elizabeth Shutley, Brooke Donnelly, Alekia Tenali, Claire Cahill, and Patricia Kirkland. At next week's NCAA Individual Championships, Meehan will compete in singles, while she and Kirkland were selected for the doubles field. Despite losing 7 batters from its 2013 starting lineup, baseball put together a strong campaign, finishing 18-13 overall and placing 4th in the ODAC with an 11-9 conference record. In a great statistical anomaly, the Generals went 3-7 in conference play at home, balancing that out with an impressive 8-2 road record. At the ODAC tournament in Lynchburg, Washington and Lee dropped a 5-4 decision in 10 innings to eventual champion Bridgewater and then fell 6-3 in an elimination game to top seed Shenandoah. Center fielder Keegan Dolan set a single-season school record with 11 home runs on his way to first-team All-ODAC honors. Now for more track and field. The men finished third at the ODAC Outdoor Championship in Salem. Xander Tallman was named Athlete of the Meet after placing first in the 400 meters and 800 meters and taking part in W&L's winning 4x100 and 4x400 relay teams. Kevin Sullivan won the javelin with an ODAC record throw, while Ian McDonald finished first in the 1500 meters. Augustin Kim, Cole Glasgow, and Aaron Zhang joined Tallman on the 4x100 relay, while the 4x400 team featured Tallman, Jack Jones, Charlie Zacharitis, and Isidro Camacho. Zhang, who now holds the school record in the 100-meter dash, finished second in that event and third in the 200 meters, while Jones, Dylan Myers, and David Fishman also claimed all ODAC honors in individual events. Women's track and field also placed third at the Conference Outdoor Championship. Once again, Annalise Madison was named the ODAC Scholar Athlete of the Year, while Dana Lee received Co-Rookie of the Year honors. At the conference meet, Lizzie Stanton won the pole vault, finishing just ahead of teammates Jillian Catterhagen and Alex Hagen. Madison finished second in the 800 meters and 1500 meters, while Lee placed third in the 200 meters and the triple jump, breaking her own school record in the process. She also joined Sarah Helms, Janie Fugate, and Cara Ferroni on the school record-setting 4x400 relay team that finished second overall. The men's lacrosse team went 11-6 against one of the nation's toughest schedules, finishing in a three-way tie for first in the ODAC with an 8-1 conference record. The Generals earned the number 2 seed for the ODAC tournament, falling 12-9 to Lynchburg in the conference semifinals in Salem. Midfielders Joe Wood and Jared Mitchell joined defenseman Colin Frazier on the All-ODAC first team, while Cameron DeBeer was named the conference's Scholar Athlete of the Year. And we'll finish with the team that isn't finished yet. Women's lacrosse won its 15th ODAC championship this spring, going 10-0 in conference play and then defeating Guilford 9-6 in the conference title game here in Lexington. Senior attacker Margaret Klein was named ODAC Player of the Year, and she was joined on the all-conference first team by senior defenders Leanne Stone and Olive Waxter. At Watfield this weekend, the Generals earned the program's 5th ever NCAA tournament victory, knocking off Denison 13-5 in a second-round matchup. W&L will head to regional competition on a 13-game winning streak, traveling to Amherst to face 4th-ranked TCNJ in the round of 16 on Saturday. Another victory would send the Generals into the national quarterfinals for just the second time in program history. For the Washington and Lee Athletics Year in Review, I'm Jeremy Franklin. For the Washington and Lee Athletics Year in Review, I'm Jeremy Franklin. We started in the fall where the volleyball team went 28-7 and claimed the program's 14th ODAC championship, beating Lynchburg.
Once again, thanks to our wonderful staff in the Sports Information Office for all of their great work with that amazing video. So as you've surely realized over the last few minutes, we've had another fine year in athletics here at Washington and Lee. As you've just heard, it's not quite finished yet. Best of luck to the women's lacrosse team this weekend, as well as to our tennis players who are heading out to nationals. And the selections for the NCAA Track and Field Championships will be announced next week. And we also expect to hear more All-Region and All-America accolades for our athletes from the spring. So you just heard a very long list of names, records, awards, and recognitions. Let's take a moment to honor our All-America, All-Region, All-State, and First-Team All-Conference selections once again. If you have been named to any of these teams, please rise for a round of applause. I will now turn the program over to Neil Cunningham.
Good evening. This year's recipient of the Dick Miller PE Scholarship is a junior math major from Denver, Colorado. The student is taking classes in aerobic running, weight training, soccer, and team handball. Coach has said about the winner, he brought energy and enthusiasm every day to class. He was an energetic competitor and a pretty good athlete to top it all off. The kind of student everybody would want in their PE class. And finally, Coach Snyder said, he came to class with a great attitude every day and went above and beyond what was required of him. We even exchanged workout programs. And if you know Coach Snyder, that's a crazy thing to do. Ladies and gentlemen, this year's recipient of the Dick Miller PE Scholarship is James Quigley. James is not here. He is watching the live feed from Greece. So congratulations again, James. Dean Evans.
The J.L. Lefty Newell Memorial Award is presented to the student volunteer who has served a W&L team or teams and has contributed to the success of those teams. This year's recipient of the Lefty Newell Award has served the women's lacrosse team as an assistant coach for the last 3 years, all while attending law school. She played goalkeeper at Hofstra University as an undergraduate student and later played for the Welsh national team and coached in the UK before making her way here to Lexington. Coach O'Brien has said about the recipient, as a law student assistant, she has had an incredibly strong commitment to and impact on our program. Her keen knowledge of lacrosse, her positive outlook, her endless energy, and magnetic personality have served to support the team through numerous ups and downs throughout these 3 years. She would drive multiple hours on her own to attend away games and has served as a coach, a role model, and key supporter to numerous members of the team. She will be incredibly missed next year. Ladies and gentlemen, this year's recipient of the JL Lefty Newell Award is Maisie Osteen.
Yay, Maisie. Way to go. Good evening. It is my pleasure to present the R.E. Chubb Yakel Memorial Service Award, which is presented annually to the individual within the university and local community who has shown extraordinary support of the university's athletic programs and/or has made outstanding contributions to the Department of Athletics and Physical Education. This year's recipient of the R.E. Chubb Yakel Memorial Service Award has served the Washington and Lee Athletic Department for 9 years. She joined the university in 1999 in the Human Resources Office before becoming office manager for the athletic department for the 1999-2000 school year. She then moved on to the development office before returning as the athletics department administrative assistant in the fall of 2006. In her current role, she has had many responsibilities, including assisting our coaches, athletes, and administrators, managing contracts for L24 Sports, scheduling both indoor and outdoor facilities, supervising van usage, coordinating interviewing and hiring for the department, making lodging arrangements for NCAA events, serving as a receptionist for the physical education and recreation departments, and cheerfully greeting all visitors to the department. Director of Athletics Jan Hathorn says the following about this individual. I'll do it. She's been a wonderful member of our department and a joy to work with every day. She's welcoming to anyone and everyone who comes to our department, is able to diffuse sticky situations with a calm approach and a smile, and is the best at offering a positive word to anyone who walks through our door. It's hard to imagine what we will be like without her when she retires in December. I speak for myself, really I'm speaking for Jan, and I'm certain I speak for the members of our department when I say that she's a friend who has been an integral part of who we are, and we are better for having known her. And I certainly echo those sentiments. I also think she always lives up to her last name. The recipient of R.E. Chubb Yakel Memorial Service Award is Emily Nicely.
Tonight we're honored to have among us a steadfast friend of Washington and Lee Athletics, Harry Brookby, class of 1966, a former football, lacrosse, and baseball player. Harry and his mother, Mrs. Harry Brookby, and his brother Bo, class of 72 and a former athlete, gave a generous gift to Washington and Lee Athletics as an expression of their love and appreciation for the university, and to honor what W&L Athletics has meant to them and to their family throughout their lives. Their gift, which has endowed all aspects of this athletics award ceremony, is deeply appreciated and very meaningful to us. So Harry, our sincerest thanks that you have joined us this evening. Our thanks to you and your family for your generosity to W&L, and I wish that you would stand so that we can recognize you. You've heard the oft-used phrase, "it takes a village," and that's often used to describe the many, many people that it takes to make things happen, and that's not unusual in our case in the athletics department. There are people who wash your uniforms, mow the fields, rehab your injuries, they set up your intramurals, recreation, club sport, group X activities, clean your locker rooms, keep your stats, pick up your trash, basically point you in the right direction whenever you need any help. They do just about everything behind the scenes, and many of them would like to remain there. They are not people who seek attention, but they deserve the attention that we are going to give them this evening for all they do for us. So if you would help me in publicly recognizing all these people in our athletics department, I'd appreciate your help. So administrative assistants, Emily Nicely and Carolyn Mayo. Athletic trainers, Josh Williamson, Allison Kapuska, Matt Phillips, Rachel Wheeler. Equipment and facilities maintenance crews, our outdoor crew, Tommy Mays, Boehner, Justin Cash, Andrew Davis, Mike Malo, and Charlie Updike. The indoor crew, Eddie Irvin, Debbie Brown, Sheila Campbell, Francis Haston, Mike Pelka, and Garfield Garrison. Fitness center people, Chris Shaw, Patty Colleton, and Brian Smith. Director of Recreation, Ray Ellington. And Sports Information Office, Brian Lobsher, Chip Whipple, and Maggie Roy. They forgot to include the family dog in their picture. I do want to shout out a little special, not more than a little, a great special thank you to the Sports Information Office, for they have worked very hard. They don't throw this together. They work a long time to make this ceremony happen, and today is no different. So thank you very much. So it's often a nostalgic time for us in our department, because the end of the year often signifies the departure of some of our coaches and staff who have become our friends and to whom we owe so much for their dedicated service to our work. This year, 4 of our staff members will be moving on, and we want to take this time to thank them for their enormous contribution to the department. Please come forward if you're here and your name is called. Kevin Kiley. Kevin has served as an assistant in men's lacrosse for the past 3 years, working in all phases of the program. He leaves us to return to Massachusetts to join his wife, Caitlin, who is the Assistant Director of Alumni and Parent Relations at Phillips Exeter Academy. Kevin cannot be here with us tonight because he's actually interviewing for a job, but we thank him for his excellent contributions to our lacrosse program and our department. Nat St. Laurent. Nat is leaving W&L after 4 years of being the faculty assistant in men's lacrosse to become the head coach of the first ever Ohio Northern University men's lacrosse program. Coach Saint cannot be here this evening because he's actually at Ohio Northern doing work for them, but we wish him and his family well in their new endeavors. Always smiling, Coach Saint. Rick Werner. Rick served as our assistant men's and women's golf coach this year. Rick is not new to helping coach golf at W&L. He has served in this role on a part-time basis, off and on for many years. Rick is a retired PGA professional who is not with us tonight because he has retired to one of his favorite places in the world, Naples, Florida. And lastly, but not at all least, is Rachel Wheeler. Rachel leaves us after 4 years of service as an assistant athletics trainer. Although her work included assistance with all 24 of W&L's teams, she specifically oversaw the athletic training duties for the men's and women's soccer team, men's and women's swimming teams, wrestling, and men's lacrosse. Rachel, many thanks for your excellent work and for your dedication to our student athletes. Please come forward and accept a token of our appreciation. Another one of our own will be departing Lexington at the conclusion of the school year. Shayna Levine, Associate Director of Athletics, Senior Woman Administrator, and Associate Professor of Physical Education, will be leaving us to become the Director of Athletics at Lewis and Clark College in Portland, Oregon. Has anyone else noticed that Shayna only works for institutions with ampersands in their names? Shayna has been an integral part of what we do in Washington and Lee athletics. She has worked in numerous areas of our campus, department, and community. As NCAA compliance coordinator, administrator for event management and facilities, group exercise instructor, initial advisor, faculty advisor to Kappa Alpha Theta, chair of the Student Faculty Hearing Board, a member of the Women's and Gender Study Program, and a community soccer player. That's just to name a few. A graduate of the class of 2001 and a four-year member of the women's soccer team, Shayna has brought her love for Washington and Lee and a great deal of energy and enthusiasm to her work and has served W&L with dedication and loyalty for the past 6 years. Shayna, you have made a difference. We will miss you, and yet we're very excited for you and your husband Clark as you make this next step in your career. Thank you for all you've done for W&L, and please accept this gift as a token of our appreciation for your service and friendship. And finally, for one of our coaches, this year signals the end of a very, very distinguished career as a head coach. Head coach Rolf Peranian will be entering phased retirement after 38 years of serving as head coach of men's soccer and associate professor of physical education. I love that picture. As you can well imagine, the list of accomplishments for Rolf's career is long and incredibly impressive. I'll do my best to capture the highlights with apologies in advance for anything I may have missed or have incorrect. Rolf has served as W&L's head men's soccer coach since 1976. I think I have his record right, compiling a 313, 243, and 59 overall record. During the 2012 season, he became the 38th coach in Division III history to record at least 300 victories, and he has 204 more wins than any other coach in the history of W&L men's soccer. Rolf's teams have won 3 ODAC championships, while 8 other teams finished as the conference runner-up. As a result, Rolf was named the ODAC Coach of the Year 7 times. Of particular note, in the fall of 2000, Rolf's team claimed the conference championship and set a program record for wins with a 19-2 overall record. The Generals advanced to the finals of the NCAA South Regional that year before falling to Christopher Newport. This fall, he guided the Generals to a berth in the semifinals of the ODAC tournament while posting a 10, 4, and 5 overall record. A graduate of the class of 1974, Rolf was a 4-year letter runner for the Generals soccer team, serving as a team captain for his senior season. Additionally, he was a 3-year member of the lacrosse team and a 2-year member of the wrestling team, earning 2 letters in both of those sports. On the soccer pitch, he was twice named to the All-State team and was an All-South honoree as a senior. He participated in the Virginia College Athletic Association All-Star Game in each of his final 3 seasons. Rolf, you have set the bar high and distinguished yourself as an outstanding coach, professional, and individual. And W&L and the men's soccer program are the better for it. Your unwavering passion for the development of the student athletes you coached and the spirit and the loyalty you have displayed in all of your responsibilities have been unmatched. Please accept our heartfelt and sincere expression of thanks for your selfless and willing devotion to W&L. We're glad you're not leaving. We look forward to spending 4 more years with you. Would you please stand and let us recognize you for your distinguished career? I now turn the podium over to Shayna Levine.
Good evening. I am presenting the Wink Glasgow Spirit and Sportsmanship Award. This award is presented annually to the W&L senior who has demonstrated the highest qualities of true W&L spirit and sportsmanship. The 2014 recipient of the Wink Glasgow Spirit and Sportsmanship Award was a 3-year member of the women's soccer team and joined the women's lacrosse team her senior season. In soccer, she played 13 games in net for the Generals, recording a .22 goals against average. Then she joined the lacrosse team this spring in order to help a team that lacked depth at the goalie position. She has played in 4 games, making 2 saves, with 3 goals allowed in 75 minutes of action. But to understand this Dayton, Ohio native's contributions, we need to look much deeper than statistics. Coach Cunningham, head women's soccer coach, said, with a much more British accent than me, "She is the type of student athlete that makes everyone better. She has an amazing work ethic and an attitude towards learning. She has an infectious personality that you are instantly drawn to. She has this innate ability to make people work harder and still enjoy what they're doing. Her inclusion on my team for the past 3 years has brought us much success and a whole lot of laughter along the way. She is a great role model for the younger players and an awesome teammate for her peers." Head women's lacrosse coach Brooke O'Brien added, "She was a welcome addition to our team this spring. While her initial role was merely to help fill a void in the goalkeeper position, we now cannot imagine our team without her. Her positive, can-do attitude and upbeat personality have helped to guide our team through numerous tough situations throughout this season. Her kindness to others and willingness to put the team ahead of her own needs have only strengthened the leadership of our senior class and have served as a tremendous example to our whole team. We are so glad that she joined our team for her senior year and only wish she had joined us sooner." Ladies and gentlemen, this year's recipient of the Wink Glasgow Spirit and Sportsmanship Award is Kingsley Schrader.
Good evening. The Outstanding First Year Athlete Award is presented annually to the male and female showing the most athletic ability through his or her participation in varsity sports. Attitude, spirit, and sportsmanship are emphasized in selecting the recipient. The male recipient of the Outstanding First Year Athlete Award lettered for the football team during the fall season. He played in all 10 games as a running back, starting the final 8 games of the season and finishing with 1,021 yards and 13 touchdowns. He is just the 10th player in school history with 1,000 rushing yards in a season and the first-year player to accomplish the feat. The Richmond native finished 4th in ODAC in both rushing and scoring, totaling 78 points for the season. He had 6 100-yard rushing games en route to garnering second-team All-ODAC and second-team All-State honors. He was also named the ODAC Rookie of the Year and the Virginia SID Offensive Rookie of the Year. Ladies and gentlemen, this year's Outstanding Male First Year Athlete Award recipient is Marshall Hollerith. Here he comes, galloping down the stairs. The female recipient of the Outstanding First Year Athlete Award lettered for the women's track and field team, competing in the long jump, triple jump, 60 meters, 100 meters, 200 meters, and the 4x400 meter relay. She was named the ODAC Indoor Track and Field Rookie of the Year after placing second in the long jump and 200 meters to earn second-team All-ODAC honors. Additionally, she qualified for the NCAA Indoor National Championships in the long jump, finishing 9th overall in 5.41 meters. In the outdoor season, she was named the ODAC Co-Rookie of the Meet at the ODAC Championships, winning the long jump to earn first-team All-ODAC laurels. The Nashville native also finished 3rd in the triple jump and the 200 meters and 4th in the 100 meters. She was also part of the second-place finishing 4x400 meter relay team. She set a school record in the indoor long jump and set outdoor school records in the long jump, the triple jump, and the 100 meters, and was on the record-setting 4x400 meter relay team. Leaping tall buildings in a single bound, this year's outstanding female first-year athletic reward recipient is Ms. Dana Lee.
It is my distinct pleasure to present the William McHenry Scholar Athlete Awards. This award is given annually to the male and female student athletes who have excelled in both the classroom and the field of play. The awardees must have a cumulative grade point average of at least 3.5 and must have made outstanding contributions to intercollegiate athletics at WNL. This year's male's recipient of the William McHenry Scholarship Athlete Award was a 4-year letter winner for the swimming team, serving as a team captain for his senior season. In the pool, he competed in the butterfly, freestyle, and individual medley events and earned first team All Bluegrass Mountain Conference honors as a first year when he finished 6th in the 200 fly at the conference championship meet. The Black Mountain, North Carolina native has been a peer tutor for English, politics, psychology, and religion, and is a member of both Phi Beta Kappa and Omicron Delta Kappa. He recently received a Fulbright scholarship and will spend 9 months in Israel conducting research that aims to understand how to redirect the anger aroused by conflict to motivate reconciliation and peace. He will graduate this spring with degrees in psychology and global politics. Ladies and gentlemen, this year's William McHenry Male Scholar Athlete Award recipient is Eric Schumann. This year's female recipient of the William McHenry Scholarship Athlete Award was a 4-year letter winner in both cross-country and track and field, serving as a captain for both sports as a senior. In cross-country, she was a 4-time All-ODAC honoree and a 2-time All-Region selection, who finished 5th at the conference championship meet as a sophomore and senior. This fall, she was 5th at the NCAA regional meet, qualifying for the NCAA Division III championship, where she produced WNL's best finish since 2008. In track and field, she was a 4-year All-ODAC honoree for both the indoor and outdoor seasons, winning the ODAC indoor mile at the conference championships twice. She holds 3 school records, including the indoor 800 meters, the outdoor 1,500 meters, and as a member of the indoor 4x800 relay team. A native of Roker, Nebraska, this athlete received the ODAC Scholar Athlete Award for cross country as a senior, for indoor track and field as a senior, and for outdoor track and field as a junior and senior. She will graduate this spring with degrees in history and politics. Ladies and gentlemen, this year's William McHenry Female Athlete Award female recipient is Annalise Madison.
Thank you. It is a privilege once again to be bringing up the rear in this program, and it gives me an opportunity too to thank all of you for the work that you do throughout the year. It's really hard when Jen Hathorn and I hang out with our peers, the presidents and the athletic directors. It's really hard not to gloat. I mean, you guys, not only are you the most athletic in the conference by virtue of the cups that you bring home, but it's hard. We might as well admit you're the smartest in the conference. And we all know the best looking as well. So it truly is hard not to gloat. And we know it doesn't come easily. We know it comes with a great deal of hard work. This morning, I saw the women's lacrosse team out there at probably like 6:30 in the morning or so with your coaches. And I know that many, many other teams do that kind of sacrifice as well. So it's my privilege to present the Press Brown Most Valuable Athlete Award. It's presented annually to the most outstanding and most valuable senior male athlete and senior female athlete who excels in sportsmanship and contributes most to athletics based on his or her overall performance and proficiency during his or her career. So let me start with the female award. This year's female recipient of the Press Brown Most Valuable Athlete Award was a 4-year letter winner and 2-year captain as an outside hitter for the volleyball team. She earned first team All-ODAC and first team All-State honors each of her 4 seasons. She was an honorable mention All-Region selection as a first year and sophomore, and was a first team All-Region selection as a senior, when she also earned honorable mention All-America honors. She was the ODAC, Virginia SID, and South Region Rookie of the Year in 2010, and was named the ODAC Player of the Year following her sophomore and senior seasons. She was also named the Virginia SID State Player of the Year this past fall. A 4-year member of the ODAC All-Tournament team and a 2-time Capital One Academic All-District honoree, she is just one of 5 players in school history with more than 1,000 kills and 1,000 digs for her career. She finished with 1,714 kills, which is not only a school record, but a new ODAC record as well. She finished with 1,412 digs and 171 service aces, both tied for 7th all-time at W&L. The Houston native helped W&L to 2 ODAC titles and 3 NCAA tournament berths, and was named the W&L Outstanding First-Year Female Athlete in 2011. Ladies and gentlemen, this year's recipient of the Press Brown Most Valuable Senior Female Athlete Award is M.A. Bowles. The male recipient of the Press Brown Most Valuable Athlete Award was a 4-year letter winner for the men's track and field team. He was a 15-time conference champion and will be a 5-time NCAA championship qualifier after competing this spring. He has set 5 individual school records and is a member of 3 record-setting relay teams. He holds the indoor 200 and 400 meter records and is a member of the record-setting indoor 4x400 relay team. For the outdoor season, he holds the records in the 200, 400, and 800 meters, and is a member of the record-setting 4x100 and 4x400 relay squads. The Michigan native has twice been named first team All-ODAC for the indoor season and was a first team outdoors all 4 years. Additionally, he was named the ODAC Indoor Season Rookie of the Year, the ODAC Indoor Athlete of the Meet as a sophomore, and the ODAC Outdoor Athlete of the Meet as a senior. He also garnered the Track and Field Coaches Association Regional Indoor Athlete of the Year as a sophomore and became W&L's first track and field All-American since 1969 by finishing 3rd in the 400 meters at the NCAA Indoor Championship last March. Ladies and gentlemen, this year's recipient of the Press Brown Most Valuable Senior Male Athlete was also named W&L's Outstanding first-year male athlete in 2011 is Xander Tolman.
As we prepare to adjourn, please allow me to first make a couple of announcements. We'd like to take our annual all-athlete photo outside the Lee Chapel. So immediately after, please, all of our athletes gather on the stairs, and our photographer, Patrick Heinley, will organize you and we'll get our all-athlete photo. To all the major award winners, if you could stay just after that photo for some more photos, we'd appreciate that. And everyone here and your families are invited to a picnic dinner over at Evans Dining Hall immediately following the pictures and/or the ceremony. And as you leave, if you would like to have a copy of the list of all the award winners, we have folks handing those out as you head out. So a final word of thanks to all our athletes, our coaches, our staff, everyone who's done an excellent job of representing W&L. Thank you. We are adjourned. Go Generals.